But Mike, I'm going to start with you. We've been on this game. We basically have been almost all morning long on the game because there's so many angles. And you turned to me in the break and you said there's one thing we haven't even mentioned yet.
He's going to be the highest paid player in the sport within the next 4 months. His market green has taken off like a rocket. If we go back to the offseason, we talk about right down the line, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and then we said, all right, Patrick Mahomes, you go last. Not so fast. He's 30 years old, greedy. He's in the MVP conversation, and he cannot be franchised. Hard stop. Dak Prescott will be the highest paid player in the sport within a matter of months.
It's just an interesting thought to throw into the conversation. Lewis, let's talk about this. Let's start with Dak. Again, you know what? We had other plans. Forget it. I'm not doing anything else. I didn't come back to talk about anything besides this game last night. Lewis, so commercial free, 20 minutes. Sit down. We've got tons to get to here. Lewis, Dak Prescott, has he answered every question? He's never played better than he's playing this last month or so. And I saw what Aaron Rodgers was saying about him. What did you take out of that?
Yeah, look, I loved it. You know, you love when you hear great players talk about how great other players are playing. Now, I understand that Dak still has something still to answer, and that is, as the games gain importance, especially as you move here into the month of December and then in the postseason, will he be able to have those 30 for 40 games, 350 plus yards, no interceptions, 3 TDs, and make those crucial throws like he was able to do last night? Because what he is doing right now in terms of his completion percentage above expected, his QBR in the pocket, outside the pocket, third down, I mean, right now, it is graduate PhD level stuff. He is controlling the entire thing from beginning to end. You know, Aaron Rodgers was talking about the fact that, you know, people kind of make a joke about his new cadence, this new cadence that they use down in Dallas, where you hear Dak saying, "Here we go." And people kind of laugh about it. And they were laughing about it on the broadcast last night. Aaron Rodgers was saying, look, I think it's pretty cool because what it shows you is he is so comfortable in the system that they have put into place down there and the way he is able to change up some of the things within his snap cadence. And he got people to jump off sides last night. He's doing all the little things. He's finding the incremental improvements in his game that right now have you talking about him. You cannot talk about him without really mentioning the fact that he's one of the very best. Now, he just needs to do it in the biggest of moments, namely the postseason. But, hey, Mike brings up a great point. This offseason is going to be an absolute lottery ticket for him if he can keep up this pace right now. A lottery ticket.
Very quickly, before I go to Bart, that was Jack. I just ripped up accidentally the stats from last night's game. I need last night's box scores reprinted, please. Thank you very much. Score that one E1 if you're keeping track at home. That said, Bart, the one doubter, has Dak answered your questions?
So far, so good, but I have more questions, and those questions can only be answered in the postseason when it's a guy on the other side. Listen, Geno Smith was the B side of this matchup. It's going to be times where Dak is going to be the B-side with Jalen Hurts, maybe against Brock Purdy, which is crazy to say, a $900,000 quarterback.
Yeah.
But he's going to be maybe the B-side. Can he beat that guy? Can he elevate? Because I understand, listen, he's answered the questions, but that's not the question we had about Dak Prescott. He's had tremendous regular seasons. We've seen this movie before, and he says that he has the pen. I don't know what it is with quarterbacks and pens. Geno last year, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back, knowing all that stuff. They all want pens, right? They want to be writers, but he's never written himself a happy ending. So does he write a happy ending this year? Because that's the only thing we care about, because what Mike said is he's going to be the highest paid guy. Well, that means they're going to lose some great players. Is he a guy that, like Mahomes, when he loses his weapons, when he loses the depth of his team, can he overcome then? That's when you pay guys the highest. Can you be a plus multiplier, to quote you directly?
Very quickly, Jack, if you would. Thank you very much. That's Jack, our Director of Printing Operations. Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead.
To Bart's point, though, this is what's so impressive about Dallas. Dalton Schultz graduates. He goes to Houston. Luke Schoonmaker, Jake Ferguson, they step up, and that's what's going to happen. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to graduate, but Dak Prescott will be the highest paid player. He can't be franchised. He's 30 years old. And these young tight ends are a great example of what Dallas is doing. They're going to pay Dak. They're going to pay Micah Parsons.
Going to lose Tyron Smith.
Yeah, and they're going to lose Tyron Smith. They'll move Tyler Smith out to left tackle. That's how you have sustained success.
Get in here, guys. Go.
Their franchise. Look, you say the answer to every question. You cannot answer the questions on the final exam while you're taking the midterm, right? He's acing the class right now. Dak Prescott is.
That's not
right.
That's Georgetown
and
talking
he's
right
set up
there.
exactly, and he's set up for success. Like he is playing as well as he ever has. The best year he's had in terms of, closest to the Super Bowl was his rookie year, right? When he had that monster year with all the touchdowns, no interceptions, and they came this close to beating Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the second round of the playoffs. If he keeps going like this, especially if they can catch the Eagles. The Eagles lose to the Niners this week and the Cowboys beat the Eagles next week. I understand, two big ifs. Then he has a chance to go into the playoffs set up like that with home games and all that. But it's still a long way to go. That doesn't mean he can't do it. We're sitting here. It's not finished yet, but he is looking great.
He bet on himself.
He is absolutely set up to cash it in.
He bet on himself like Flacco did, right? Yes. And listen, he understood what this contract was about. It was pretty much a prove-it deal. It was pretty much a 2-year deal wrapped up in 4 years of length, right? So can he answer that test if he wins the Super Bowl? But if he gets bounced in the first round and he plays bad, I understand he's getting paid, but then you have to understand if Dallas, this is the best team they're going to have. You can't lose those type of players.
Say that every year, though.
Okay.
Yeah, and they lose every year.